Well, hello, I am Dorothy Wilson, and I am that media queen. And I'm so glad that you joined me today to learn more about how to write it, publish it, and sell it. I am passionate about teaching you how to become a published author. So let's jump right in. Okay, so one of the things I want to start out by saying is this. If you're wondering, can you produce a book? Yes, you can produce a book. Every one of us has at least one, if not multiple books on the inside of us. We all have a story. We all have lessons that we have learned. And if we do, that means we have a story that's inside of us, a message that's inside of us that somebody is waiting to hear. Someone is waiting to hear, to learn from your mistakes. And it's time that you share it, okay? So when you write a book, many of the times when you share, you help other people to become transformed. But guess what? You know, after being in the publishing business for many years, this is what I've learned. You also find more healing for you. Writing and sharing can be cathartic. So 3 reasons that you haven't published that book. I'm getting inside of your head. I know this, but guess what? I know I've talked to so many people just like you who want to publish a book, who want to produce their own magazine. Number 1, you don't see yourself as a writer, or if you can write a little bit, you don't know what to do next. You've been writing on scraps, you've been journaling, you don't know what to do with it next. Number 2, you're worried about the investment. How much time is it going to take? Do I need to take time off from work to write this? How much money is it going to take? I don't have any money right now to put up front. Number 3, fear. Stepping out into the unknown. Fear is one of the greatest weapons that holds you in place, and it keeps you from fulfilling your highest calling, your biggest destiny. And so one of the ways that you can overcome fear is knowledge, okay? So I'm going to give you some information that's going to help you feel a lot more confident about becoming an author. So there's really 5 steps here. I'm going to start off by talking about vision. Vision, okay? What would happen if you decided that you wanted to build a house and you went to work on it without a blueprint, without getting a land survey, and now you're up on the roof, you're putting on the shingles, and oops, you realize you needed to compact some clay before you poured the foundation, okay? I see so many people decide they want to write a book or produce a magazine, and they start at exactly the wrong place. And it's as silly or unwise as trying to build a house without first really getting a blueprint to go by. So I have 37 years of experience in the publishing business, everything from newspapers to magazines to books to special pamphlets, website publishing. If it's in publishing, then I've been involved in it. So one quick piece of advice I want to give you: don't get lost in the weeds. You can spend a lot of time going round and around trying to figure out when to start, how to start, all of those things. Focus on the end result and then take that first step forward to getting a plan of action. So why would you want to produce a book or a magazine? 1, visibility. You want to be seen, you want to elevate your brand, you want to help others is another reason. All of these are great reasons. You want to make money. Some people say, I want to sell books. I want to start out small, and then over time, I want to build up my brand as an author, as a writer, and use that to be able to really grow my platform, to be able to gain more money. I want to create multiple streams of income. For some of you, you just say, you know what? I've just got this thing on the inside of me that's burning. I need to unbox this. I need to unbox it so I can heal, but so others also can heal from hearing my story, from reading my story. One of the things you want to make sure you don't make the mistake of is putting money first in anything that you're going to do, whether it's a book or any other thing. You don't want to pour your life out for money, because at the end of the game, when you talk to people who are 90 and 100 years old, when they talk about what really mattered to them in life, they don't talk about money. They talk about the lives that they impacted. They talked about the legacy that they're leaving their family. So do it for purpose, do it on purpose when you publish. Your purpose is what is going to keep you going when you're dog tired, you want to quit, you got other people throwing rocks at you and you're questioning yourself. You have to have some kind of fire down in here. You have to know what your why is. Okay. And that drive, it's going to come from your soul, from on the inside of you. As for me, I have a mandate to work with people just like you to amplify your message. God has called me to do that. My past calls me to do it. As a young girl, I watched my mom be verbally and physically abused over and over. And I was too little, too young. There was nothing I could do. I literally felt like I had tape over my mouth. My hands were tied behind my back. And I couldn't help my mama, but there's so many other people that I can help now. I felt that my mama never truly realized her fullest purpose, her fullest potential. But I can help you understand what your purpose is and to begin to share your message and your purpose through publishing. So 4 things, 4 results of publishing. Amplify your message so that in a powerful way, so you can reach, instead of the 100 of people that are in your inner circle, on your fan page, reach thousands, reach millions. Elevate your credentials, your brand, your influence, help others be better. And as I mentioned before, you can add new streams of revenue. Start with a book that leads to speaking, that leads to coaching. So to create brand indoctrination, all right, first, people have to see you. Secondly, they have to know or experience you. So here's what I mean by that. A book is a powerful way to help people be able to take notice of you, to be able to see you. And as they read your book, as they read what's on the inside of you, they begin to experience you and to know you, and they want more of you. So step 1 is you need to have a vision for where you want to go with this project. What is your end result? What does success look like for you? Be clear about that, because your whole book project needs to be structured on the results that you want to get from your publishing. Number 2, let's talk about framing your book. This is a step that a lot of times people don't spend enough time in this phase. You just start writing, you just start putting stuff down, and then you go back and you try to organize it. No, start with the end in mind. As I said, you want to have a hook to get that reader past that first chapter. This is very intentional, okay? You want to use some skilled writing techniques like foreshadowing, and an adrenaline rushing, vivid scene that captivates you and calls you to want to read that next chapter, to turn that next page. That's one of the techniques that you can use. The young author that I mentioned that came to me after he had produced a few books on his own, when he came to me, one of the most powerful things that he could share in his book was to open it up on the day that his father was killed, and him share in a very vivid way the scene as he walks into his dad's apartment at the police's call, and he is surveying. He's literally walking you through each room of that house, and you're hearing his thoughts. He's sharing with you what he is thinking, the shock of it. And after you read that, there is no way that you're not going to read to the end of the book to find out what happened to this young man. How did he overcome this trauma, this tragedy? How did he get past it? And so you want to frame your book so you know where you're going at the beginning. The third part of producing a book is production. That's your cover design, your editing, your page design, your graphic design, creating marketing promos, all of those things, okay? So why go through the effort of producing a book if you're not willing to produce it in a professional way, so you maximize your opportunity. You can't have a great story and have sloppy production. I've seen that so many times. You want to have design software. You're not trying to design a book in Word. Yes, you could do it, but there are telltale signs that indicate that this is not something that was professionally produced. And if part of your goal is to get validation to amplify your message and your brand, you actually are detracting from your brand if you don't do things in a professional way. Images, first-time publishers always get in trouble with this. They find images online and they think it's okay to incorporate them into their cover, incorporate them into chapters in their book. You can get into some serious legal trouble over copyright infringement. So, and there are other legal issues. So, you may be so focused on telling your story of all of these horrible things that happened in your childhood. You were abused by Uncle Sam. Well, guess what? Uncle Sam may decide he wants to come after you for impugning his reputation, and he can make some legal claims. So there's some legal things that you have to make sure you're clear on when you're writing a book. Another thing is, you can write a great book. You ever heard that expression, don't read a book by its cover? Well, actually, people will never read your book if you don't have a compelling cover. You need something that will cause them to say, I need to pick up this book. I need to order this off of Amazon. It's speaking to me. It has to be compelling. You have to know from a technical standpoint where you want the eye to start, where do you want it to go next, where do you want it to go next. All of that needs to be thought through. Fourth phase of publishing is the publishing it. Part of that is you need to make sure you choose a printer that's going to maximize your profit and allow you to accomplish whatever your end game goals are. And normally, a lot of times that has to do with the quality of the printing, but it also has to do with how your royalties. It also has to do with how much flexibility you want on how you sell your book and where you sell your book. And so all of those things come into play in the publishing stage. One of the biggest stumbles I see with new authors is you can put a lot of effort into getting your book finished and you're ready for it to go to the printer, and you don't understand the upload process, for instance, with Amazon well enough to make sure your book is formatted correctly, the margins and all of these things are set up correctly. And you can find yourself actually looping over several days of trying to get it uploaded exactly right based on the printer specifications. So publishing a book is not something that you want to just strike out and say, I'm going to throw something together, I'm going to upload it to Amazon, and voila, I'm a published author. You really need to sit and think through these steps. The fifth step is selling it. And this is another phase that new authors oftentimes don't spend enough time thinking about. Pre-selling can be one of the most profitable phases to you publishing your book, but oftentimes that stage is missed, or you try to do it too close to the launch of the book. So there needs to be a timeline and a strategic plan for how you're going to sell and market your book. So with all of that said, can you publish on your own? Of course you can. You can do it, okay? But what I want to encourage you to do is count the costs, figure out how much time you really want to invest into publishing a book, and then also think through what kind of results you want, what kind of impact do you desire. You may need to hire other people. You don't need to hire anyone. You're somebody that you will sit up 3 nights in a row to 3 a.m. and you will read everything you can find on Google, and you're like, got a lock. I know how to do this, or I can figure it out. Everybody's not wired that way. Many of us, we're busy and we don't have time to do all of that. I say, one of the things I say very, very often in my multiple businesses that I need to focus on the things that I'm really good at. And then I will hire other people who are good at the things that I can only do it at a 50, 60, 70% level of effectiveness. So think about that. Think about how much of your time you want to invest in a project. Think about your comfort level and your skill set, all of those things. If you do decide to hire a publisher or a coach or a consultant to work with you on your book project, that's a good thing, because if they're good at their job, they're going to help you to define the project and solidify how to do it in a way that is going to not only be successful, but have an impact on the world. There's nothing more heartbreaking than for you to sling your heart out there in print and nobody actually reads it. Okay. So hire professionals to edit, to design, to give you consultation if you need to. If you do that, sometimes that can save you a lot of time. You may want to make sure that you get somebody who has some marketing experience. You can sometimes hire someone who has publishing experience, but they don't have a lot of marketing experience. So you still have an incomplete process. So I want to give you just some quick tips on choosing a publisher. Choose a publisher who is willing to allow you to choose how much help you want or need. There's nothing worse than paying for more than what you need, or getting putting yourself in a situation where you only get part of what you need. And so you keep having to go back to the bank and write another check because you realize, oh, there are 4 more steps to this that I didn't even think about, that I didn't even realize I was going to need help with. So you need to make sure you choose a publisher who can sit down and really walk you through what to expect doing publishing, so you can choose how much help you need. Number 2, focus on your strengths. This will take a lot of stress off of you if you focus on your strengths. What is it that you're really good at? If you have a good story, that may be all that you're good at, and you really need a ghostwriter. You need somebody to frame your chapters for you. You need editing. You need all of that. Or you may be really good at marketing, but you've never published before, and you just need somebody to get you a finished product that is credible and that is high quality. So, focus on what your strengths are. Leave the other parts to somebody who is skilled. You can save yourself money and time. Sometimes with the thinking that you're saving money, you end up spending more. What you don't know will cost you. Number 3, assemble a great team, okay? But don't piecemeal it. You end up with what you're willing to spend money on. You end up spending more. I already mentioned that. You want to put a great team together. Make sure you know who should be on that team before you get started, to ensure, if you're going to invest your time in this, that's just kind of how I think. If I invest any real amount of time on anything, I want it to be successful. So understand who your team is. You may have somebody who is going to help you with publishing the book, but then the question is do you have resources to help you with sending out emails, managing email campaigns? What else do you need to ensure your success? So you want to choose a publisher who is willing to allow you to only pay for what you need, what you really feel you need. You want to focus on your strengths, and then you want to assemble a great team. All of that is about resources, okay, that wisdom. So now you're ready to publish. You're ready to take that next step. You can do this. It is very doable. I've worked with many people who wanted to publish a book and didn't know where to start. And so I know that you can do it. You have it in you to do it. You just need to find someone who can work with you to figure out how you can produce it at a very high level without you having to break the bank, whether that be time investment or money investment. Now, if you're ready to take the next step, of course, my team is here. We can help you with whichever level of assistance that you might need through our Write It, Publish It, Sell It program. If you want more information, if you want to set up a 15-minute discovery call to talk very briefly about your project, and what kind of services we might be able to help you with, go to D. Wilson at dwilsonassociates.com, dwilsonassociates.com. Did I say that right? Let's just say that again. Make sure you got it. dwilsonassociates.com. All of that spelled out, dwilsonassociates.com. If you want to get in on our next pre-call for our Write It, Publish It, Sell It program, you want to understand more about it, understand more about what to expect, go to writeitpublishitsellit.com, writeitpublishitsellit.com, and get signed up. We will send you the information, and we will get in a Zoom session and get all your questions answered. I am so glad that you joined me today. I'm excited about the possibility of you publishing your first book. Good luck.